Hello YouTube! What's up guys? I'm back. And today I'm gonna be back with the game versus Bristol Bidoofs coach Erik, aka Aston Akai. And this game is absolutely huge. If you've seen my team analysis video, which I will have a link down in the description down below obviously, as well as to Aston Akai itself, Erik. But if you've seen the team analysis, which I will definitely recommend you to watch. But again, if you have seen that game, you obviously know how tough my matchup is today and how important this game is for me to win. As I am basically forced to win with a very high differential depending on how my opponents play. If I win higher than Riz does against Melon, I will be in the playoffs. If Weimar, coach of the Miami Infernaps, wins 6-0, I need to win at least 3-0. Of course 6-0 is not very likely, but there is definitely a chance for that to happen. He's facing the Venice Victinis, coached by Alexander Tyler, so yeah, I'm forced to have a strategy to win at least 3-4-5-0-ish maybe. So hopefully I will be able to do that in this game, but as you can see on the team that Erik brought, he brought a little bit of a different team than I expected. Mainly only one change. I predicted 5 out of the 6 ones correctly. But the Pangoro is bad. I don't want to face Pangoro. I really expect him to carry Latios instead of Pangoro. And in one hand that's good because Latios was a big threat to my team. It really was. It was like a life orb Latios. Whew, that would have been a very big issue for me. However, Latios isn't a thing, so the thing that I was also worried about is like dual screens Latios into Thunderous or into Azumarill. Also not a thing, so that's fantastic for me as well. However, right now and right here, I just noticed how big of a threat Pangoro actually is to my team. I knew it was bad, I knew it was kind of a problem, I knew it was a good ball breaker. But my plan was to lead off with Metagross and just put a lot of pressure on his team because he wouldn't have had anything for Metagross at full health. However, with the Pangoro, he actually does have something for Metagross at full health. The Pangoro. And that's really bad because that puts my Metagross in a rough spot. I mean, I cannot lead with it right now because if he leads with Pangoro, I'm not really sure what I have to do against Pangoro. It's very likely that Pangoro is gonna be Scarfed. He might be like a wall-breaking Life Orb variant maybe, because I can see that doing a thing, but I really think he's gonna be Scarfed. Look at my team and how well I take on a Scarfed Pangoro. It really does do well against my offense. So, and my offense mainly being Latias, Metagross, and also just knock off in general. I don't have a lot of switches to knock off. My best switches to knock off would be Clefable. And that's actually going to be a thing on the Venusaur as well, because I predicted him to have knockoff on Venusaur. However, that's going to be a problem as you can see in this game, because I do not have a knockoff switch in there really, unless I make very risky-ish plays with the knockoff and Sludge Bomb predictions and scouting. But yeah, we're just going to go and start off the game, as I will lead off with my Clefable, expecting him to lead off with the Pangoro, expecting me to lead off with the Metagross, or potentially the Piloswine getting up my Stealth Rocks. So I will lead off with the Clefable. The bad thing with Clefable and the bad thing with the combination of Pangoro and Registeel is Clefable is really good against this team, except for versus the Registeel. I do not have anything to really hit the Registeel except for like Hidden Power Ground that does 25% damage or something. So not the most ideal situation for me. And here is where I know that actually Clefable wouldn't be my best lead anyway. I mean, I definitely scare out the Pangoro, because Pangoro, if he's so scarfed, he only has a roll to take me down, but he doesn't know that I'm offensive. If I am like a defensive Clefable, or if I'm the Cabia Berry Clefable, he doesn't know that, so he will not risk his Pangoro very first turn, going for the Gunk Shot, trying to KO me. However, if it's just like a Life Orb variant or a Bandit variant, I will just go for the Safe Moonblast just in case. Because he might expect to outspeed me, and hopefully I will catch him on a surprise by having an offensive Clefable. However, I know for a fact that he also has a very safe switch into Registeel, getting up a Stealth Rocks because I cannot hit him for anything. I do not have Focus Blast. I cannot regret not running Focus Blast on Clefable right now, because I would have been able to go for a Focus Blast right here and get the Registeel on the switch as well. But yeah, as you can see right here, I'm just gonna go for a safe play. I guess we'll just have to wait. I accidentally reset the game. But I'm gonna go for a safe Moonblast, hoping for him to stay in, but I really didn't expect him to stay in. But I'm gonna go for a safe turn, safe play on the first turn. As he does switch in the Registeel, Red Steel obviously is gonna be able to get a Stealth Rock shot for free. I accepted this before the game happened as well. I knew that I didn't have anything for Red Steel. I do have Mons with Taunt, however nothing that can taunt a Red Steel very safely. So yeah, that's bad. So I knew for a fact that I couldn't stop Red Steel from getting off Stealth Rocks. I guess that's a flaw on my team, but I will come down to that in the team maybe recap video or something along those lines. Maybe I'll do one of those, but anyhow, focusing back on the game, I go for an Icicle Crest, kind of expecting him to switch out into the Venusaur because Venusaur is the best switch into a Piloswine. Even if he's not Mega Evolved up, I think he might expect me to just get up Stealth Rocks and have a safe switch into Venusaur. However, he goes for the Toxic, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect him to run Toxic or something along those lines, because I know he has T-Wave, I know he has Stealth Rocks, Iron Head, and the last move, again, could be anything, but apparently it's Toxic. So I guess the moveset is scouted for, because I'm really positive that the other moves are going to be those. I will quickly pause it, but he goes into the Venusaur on the following turn. I really wanted to scout for the Venusaur, the investment on the Venusaur with the Ice Crash, but as you could have seen, he went for the Toxic, whittling down my Piloswine, which is bad for Piloswine. However, it's not crucial because my team is quite offensive, so I'm not really planning on staying in any for too long anyway. So it's not huge, thankfully. But I managed to get my Stealth Rocks up, although he does have a very free switch into Venusaur right here, and I haven't damaged it, so I don't know what set he is. And now I'm in a kind of a stalemate because I know his safest play right there is go for the knockoff. Against a Piloswine, it deals with the Piloswine, it deals with almost any switch in. I don't want to lose my items on anything really. Not even on the Clefable, however, I guess that would be my best switch because Clefable would have been able to damage Red Steel anyway. But there was kind of in the back of my mind, he could go for like a sleeper, he could go for something else than a knockoff. Which is why I ended up switching in Metagross, despite knowing for a fact that the more likely play is going for a knockoff. But because he doesn't have a Lytos in his team, I know that Metagross isn't necessarily huge. I mean, it's huge, but it's not too bad if I let it get weakened. Of course, I do not want to let it get too weakened, because obviously I want it to be able to take a hit from the Azumarill, the Aqua Jet, for example. And yeah, well, stuff along those lines, I guess. But yeah, I just switch in the Metagross on a knockoff, and unfortunately I take a lot of damage. But the knockoff, another knockoff doesn't KO me, so I know that he's likely not gonna stay in. He's gonna go switch into his Arcanine, which is defensive, at least potentially defensive. Of course, that is really not the best play because rocks are up, but that's the thing. He will speed grip Adamant, maybe even Jolly Metagross with his Arcanine, so he will be able to heal up anyway. So that could have been a play, but the more likely play would be into Red Steel, and he actually does go into Red Steel, which is fantastic. But again, I know he is gonna have T-Wave, because with the T-Wave he will be able to cripple my Metagross, and Metagross T-Wave is ass against his team. I will not be able to beat anything, so I need to switch in Piloswine on the predicted T-Wave, and luckily for me he does go for the T-Wave. So he shows to be dual status. I now predict him to go back into Venusaur because it is the very free save in switching against a Piloswine. Which is why I switched back into Metagross, trying to put a pressure on his defensive core. And that's fantastic because now he doesn't have the best switch into a Zen Headbutt. Since his Red Steel is weakened, of course, if he has a defensive Arcanine, he can still switch it in. But I go for the safe play, go for the Zen Headbutt, and I get rewarded for that because I get a flinch. That flinch is kind of bad, kind of good. For me, it's obviously good. For Erik, it's kind of bad because he will have to, well, in quotation marks, have to sack his Venusaur right here. That's his safest play, but he told me afterwards that he was going to go for the Synthesis right there, scouted for what move I was going to go for. His set consisted of Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Knockoff, and Synthesis. But if he wouldn't have gotten Zen Headbutt flinched right there, he would have been able to get Venusaur at a good amount of health, and he would have been able to switch in something else or potentially sack something else, but he would have been able to keep the Venusaur at a decently good amount of health. But now he's forced to sack off his Venusaur, so yeah, I don't know how it would have played if I didn't get the flinch, but I flinched, so that happened, and he is now one Venusaur down, which is good for me because that means that Piloswine doesn't have the counter, I guess, still alive. And he goes into his Arcanine right here. I expect it to be a defensive Arcanine and like gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp or something, which is why I switch in the Vaporeon. I know for a fact that he's gonna have a Wild Charge to hit Vaporeon. However, that's not too bad because I have a Wakam Berry. But here he shows to be offensive, and an offensive one is huge because, as you can see, a Crunch does a fuck ton of damage. And a Wild Swords, despite me having a Wakam Berry, still KOs the Vaporeon. And that's bad. I did not consider an offensive Arcanine to be such a huge threat. And yeah, now I'm kind of a pickle because I have things to revenge kill Arcanine. I have a Latios which can reasonably safely revenge kill Arcanine. I have a Scolipede which can reasonably safely can revenge. Wow, my sentence is fucked up. Can reasonably safely revenge kill Arcanine. Of course, I do have to take an E-Speed, which does a lot of damage. But yeah, it kind of beats the rest of my team. And because he's offensive, that's not the set I expect him to be. And he's actually adamant offensive, which is why he's able to KO me through the Wakam Berry. I did kind of intensely expect the Jolly variant of Jolly Life Orb Arcanine variant, but he was adamant and that's perfect prep on his part because against my team, as you can see on the screen which I brought, he didn't need to be Jolly anyway. So that's good prep on his end, and he manages to KO my Vaporeon, and that's kind of bad because it didn't do anything despite it being kind of a lure to his Arcanine or his Thunderous. But yeah, that's bad, that's really bad. And now I'm gonna switch in Latias. This is kind of a play that could have gone either way. I switch in Latias because Latias can KO an Arcanine from that range of health that he is at. But I make a double switch, kind of hoping that he would make a switch into his Registeel. And basically letting his Arcanine get weakened for another Stealth Rock switch in, and then I could have Revenge Kill with a Bullet Punch from Metagross. Which is why I switch into Battle Swan right here, expecting him to switch into Registeel. If he stays in and goes for a Crunch or an E-Speed, that's fine too, because with 2 Life Orb damages, 2 Life Orb hits, he will be put in range where he won't switch out, and I will be able to Revenge Kill him very, very safely. And he actually does go for that. So unfortunately I lose my Paloswine, maybe not the best play, but it did kind of work out for me, and at least I can Revenge Kill his Arcanine, which has been a huge threat for me. There were 2 plays right here. One was just Revenge Killing the Arcanine, the other one was setting up these screens against this Arcanine. Reflect, Light Screen, and then potentially Healing Wish, or just, I guess Healing Wish would have been the best play. Yeah, getting a free opportunity for Scolipede to set up a Sword Stance and just go from there. And in hindsight, I think that was my best play. I definitely think that was my best play. Because now I'm risking a crit from the Extreme Speed as I try to KO him, and also, because as you can see right here, because from E-Speed, I get on 25% health. So if he knows my Latias, at least if he predicts my Latias to be Healing Wish, and my Scolipede to be a setup Scolipede, he knows for a fact that I will have to pull out that strategy. And that's kind of bad because, as you can see right now, he will switch in his Azumarill. And I think he will go for an Aqua Jet because he wants to KO my Scolipede. But if he predicts me to be Healing Wish on Latias, he might go for a Belladrum right here. So, although the likely play is Aqua Jet, it's his safest play, definitely. I don't feel safe just going for my play right here, because if he set up a Belladrum right there, I would have maybe not lost, but I would have been in a very, very bad spot. Luckily for me, he goes just for the Aqua Jet as I go for the Moonblast, trying to do a lot of damage to him. As he goes for the Substitute, revealing to me that he's sub 3 attacks. He told me he was sub 3 attacks for the Vaporeon to not get Scald Burned and shit, so he turned out to not be Belladrum at all. So all my worries were luckily, basically they were worries for no reason, at least no reason, yeah I guess no reason. But yeah, he KOs my Clefable right here. Kind of bad because that means that, as you can see right now, I am in a bad spot-ish, because if he is Scorpion Goro, he wins against my team if I do not manage to get the Reflect Up, if I don't manage to get the sweep going with the Scolipede. So I cannot Revenge Kill this Azumarill because he will just win with Scorpion Goro if I do. Meaning that this is my opportunity. I've wasted my opportunity against Arcanine, but this is my opportunity for Latias to set up the Reflect, set up the Light Screen, and go for the Healing Wish. He obviously stays in because if he gets Revenge killed, at least killed, then he can just kill me with the Scorpion Goro, which he actually is. So he just stays in very safely, goes for the knockoff, and I look to get my Reflector, but if he stays in right here, and trying to KO me, I still lose if I kill him, for example, or yeah. So my play is basically I have to go for the Healing Wish right here. I have to Healing Wish up Scolipede for me to win. If I do not, I simply lose. So his best play would have been switching into Thunderous right here and trying to just put pressure on the Scolipede. Because Scolipede would obviously, even despite the healing waves, it would still be damaged by rocks. And Thunderous, depending on his set, would have been able to do a lot of damage to me, maybe even KO me, depending if he's like life up, he could have been able to KO me, but he would have put me in range of an Aqua Jet from Azumarill if he decided to save Azumarill, for example. So yeah. Luckily for me, I had to bank on him not going for the play. That is my only play, and luckily for me, as you can see, he goes into Registry because he is kind of thrown off by my dual skins Latias, and he didn't expect me to carry Healing Wish. And now he is in a very bad spot because I can Healing Wish up Scolipede very safely. And I can go for a Sword Stance also very safely because I have a Lumberry. I do not fear him to T-Wave me because that's not gonna matter too much. And yeah, he switches out with here because he expected me to be a substitute variant. Also a really fair play. But yeah, I just go for a Sword Stance right here because I'm Lumberry, and now I can basically kill anything on his team. The Pangoro, of course, I need to hit a Mega Horn if I want to KO it from full health, so yeah. He switches in his Azumarill. As you can see, he wouldn't have even been able to break the substitute, which is kind of funny. But I just go for a Poison Jab. I don't want to risk crits or anything, so I just want to go for a Poison Jab. I can KO basically anything on his team right now, except for the Pangoro. If I miss the... I can KO the Pangoro with a Mega Horn, but it's risky, and I really think that I'm gonna miss if I go for it. The Thunderous Tyrion is the minimum damage roll on Thunderous Tyrion is 80%. So the Stealth Rocks put him in range of a Scolopede's Poison Jab, luckily. And the Red Steel's minimum damage is 59% or 61%, something along those lines. So it also dies to the Earthquake guaranteed. Luckily for me, because that means his final mon on the team is Pangoro, and I still have a Reflect up for at least 2 more turns. So I got this game. I don't even need to risk the Mega Horn against Pangoro. I can just go safely go for Poison Jab or EQ and just 2-hit KO him. If he crits me right here, I still have Bullet Punch in the back for Metagross, so I can win guaranteed. As you can see, I just go for the EQ. He knocks me off, knocks off my Lumberry, but it's all too late as I will be able to KO him with 1 more EQ. And I managed to win against the Bristol Bidoofs. I managed to defeat Erik, and I managed to well, kill the win streak that he was going on in the GPC. So fantastic game, Erik. Oh man, this was really bad for me. The start of the game, you had me on the back foot for basically the entire game. The Pangoro put a huge pressure on my team. Put huge pressure on my team, not a huge pressure, but put huge pressure on my team being scarfed, and I kind of underestimated the Pangoro being such a good mon against my team, I guess. Also, the offensive Arcanine really threw me off, especially because it was Adamant Life Orb. But that's fantastic preparation on your end, and I really expected a Shuka defensive, something along those lines. But man, that Arcanine, damn, that screwed me kind of screwed me over. So luckily for me, I managed to defeat the Bristol Bidoofs 2-0. 2-0 is not the ideal score that I want. Of course, I wouldn't have a 4-5-0 at best, because that would guarantee, depending on the opponents, of course, but they would basically, in my thought process, would guarantee me the playoff spot. Because if I win like 4-0, for example, I need Riz needs to win 5 or 6-0 to make it into place above me, and that's very unlikely going to happen because he's playing the Exeter Chief Electivires, and both of them are really good players, so that's definitely going to be a close game nonetheless. And both want to win because I know that Melon does want to end up on the top half of the table. He does want to end up with a positive win-loss record and a positive KO differential thing, yeah. So I know that game is not going to be a 5-0 because, well, unless there's crucial hacks, I guess. But so yeah, basically that's a weird ramble, but a 2-0 is kind of on the line. I need Riz to either lose or win with 2 or 1-0. At this point, luckily for me, I know the well, luckily for me, I guess that's not depending on luck or not, but I know the results from my other opponents. I know the results from Mimar, which had to win a 6-0 if he wanted to make it instead of me in the playoffs, and I know Riz versus Melon, Melon's result as well. So in case you do not want to watch the spoilers or listen to the spoilers that I will be giving in a few moments, thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this video, and if you do, then please click that like button, because man, this game deserves it, I think, and that's greatly appreciated by me. So if you can do that, it would be fantastic. If you didn't dislike it for some reason, then let me know in the comments down below. If you have anything else to add about this game, let me know in the comments down below as well. But onto the league table for the Division A. I'm gonna adjust the screen a little bit. I'm gonna show the Division B as well, because as you can see, I made it into the playoffs. I actually was basically Rizzy lost against Melon. Fantastic, because that means that Rizzy is out of the playoff race completely, and Weimar lost against Alexander, which is also fantastic because that means that Weimar is out of the playoff race. In the end, I turned out to be the only player or the only team that won together with Uzair. So luckily for me, the crucial game last week against Christian, which I got credited by the Mega Epsol, which hopefully you will all remember, but that didn't come into play at all in the end. Of course, it kind of ruined my record a little bit, but right now I'm okay with it. I made it to the playoffs. I have another chance to redeem my season, to salvage my season, and to get my third championship in a row as well. So I'm definitely gonna try and do that. The playoffs will be in roughly 2 weeks time. We will give an exact date and exact time on the GPC Twitter. So if you want to watch those game lives, if you want to show your support to the Cambuur Zygarden, or I guess to one of the other teams, then make sure to follow the GPC Twitter and to check whenever we're gonna do that. Anything else? I think I'm gonna have to play Robben because of the crit last week. I didn't end up with a 7-2 record. I ended up with a 6-3 record, which means that I'm second instead of first. So unfortunately, I cannot face Bluezy in the first round. I have to face Robben. Robben isn't like scarier than Bluezy in any way, but I really want to face Bluezy. So we're gonna have to save that game for the champions, hopefully, for the final. I mean, in the championship. But I guess that's the only bad thing about the crits last week. However, I still made the playoffs. I have to face Robben. Robben has a mega finisher as well, so kind of unfortunate, but I will have to defeat it. Will have to beat it. And anything else I have to add? I do not think there is much to add to the league title, to the playoff race. I don't know. I think that's about it. Let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know if you support me in the race to the championship again. Let me know if you have faith in the team, because gotta be honest, my faith in the team isn't amazing, isn't the best, because I've had better teams which I won the championship with. However, this team is hopefully, with my supreme skills, my supreme strategies, is gonna be able to do the same thing as my previous two teams did. But we'll see in the playoffs itself. I have full faith in my team, and I'm gonna have to defeat the best of the best in the Division A and the Division B. So let me know in the comments down below if you think that I can do it. If you think someone else has a better matchup against me, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if and what else do I want you to let me know? Let me know if you don't really know. Let me know how your day was, I guess, because my day was obviously fantastic. I made it to the playoffs. But for now, I guess see ya, and hopefully see you in 2 weeks time live at the GPC game in the playoffs, or on my channel again when I will do a recording from those games and hopefully celebrate my new third title. See you in a few weeks time, and maybe in my other uploads if you are interested in those as well, because the SMD is still going on, the Pokemon Auction League is still going on, and soon there will be something else. A kind of cool project with 2 other friends, at least. Well, there are a lot of people involved, but I will do it with 2 other friends of mine, which are, surprise surprise, in the GPC as well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the near future.